Hello, great minds, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another great lessons from the stables of nigerialand.com. In this very lesson, we'll take you through the steps on how to log into your Cpanel account, how to enable your SSL certificate, and how to install WordPress to get ready for the WordPress web design series. In this very lesson, we are assuming that you already have your domain name registered and also have a hosting account attached to it. If you've not done that, you'll not be able to progress beyond this point. So it's advisable you go back to the previous lesson and follow the link that we created to help you register a very basic and discounted domain name and a hosting account to progress to the next stage of this lesson. So if you've done that, the first thing you do is you open a browser and type your domain name. So we'll be using nigerialand.pw for the benefits of demonstrating this very aspect of the course. So I have typed nigerialand.pw into my address bar. I'll tap enter. So if your hosting account is enabled and a domain name attached to it, you'll get an error like this. This is because we have not installed anything into our website. That's why we'll get an error like this. If you get any other error like this one that says the site can't be reached, it means that domain name is not registered. So you get an error like this, or you get an error that says something about an IP address or DNS probe error. So that means your domain name is not registered. And if you get an IP error, it means the domain name is registered but not attached to a hosting account. So we expect to get this kind of message that says you do not have permission to access this resource. Like I explained a few seconds ago, it means your website is registered, your domain, your hosting account is active, but you have not installed anything into the root of your website. So that's what we'll be doing in the next few minutes. So to get into your Cpanel account, you just type your domain name and put a / in front of it and type Cpanel, then tap enter. Okay, so here we are, the Cpanel login screen. So this is where you enter your Cpanel username and the password provided to you by your hosting provider. Now you observe that immediately you typed the Cpanel and tapped enter, your domain name will change and would have a colon 2083 in front of it. This means that you're logging into your Cpanel from a secured session, through a secure session. So always make sure you see this when you're logging in to ensure that you have a secured session established. Okay, so we are logging into my Cpanel right now. Okay, once logged in, this is the kind of screen that you see for your Cpanel. It could look different. The interface could be different depending on the hosting provider that you've signed up with or signed up to. But what we're looking for here is a section that says Softaculous Apps Installer or the Softaculous App Installer directly here under Software. You either look for it up here or under a different section here called Software. So you can click this directly, or you go up here and click the WordPress button here. So what we want to do is to install WordPress. So this is where we come to when we need to install WordPress. So once you've confirmed that your WordPress installer is available within your hosting account, this is very important because some hosting providers do not provide the Softaculous installer for that seamless installation of WordPress. So it's very important that you check to be sure that your hosting provider provides this, else it's going to be an uphill task trying to install it manually. So we've just checked this and it's been confirmed. So we'll go back to install our SSL certificate, which provides a secured platform for installing our website. So we'll go back from here. So take note of the steps. Every step we take in this video is very important. So what we'll do, we'll scroll back up and click this button. This is the Cpanel home button, or control panel dashboard button. So I'll click here and to take me back to the Cpanel. This is the general dashboard or landing page or home page or whatever you want to call it, or index page for your Cpanel account. So what I'll do here is either to scroll down to the section that says security and pick SSL certificates, or I just type it straight into this section here, SSL, and it will list this for me. So next, I'll tap the SSL/TLS status here to see the status of the SSL certificate installed on my website. Now, most hosting providers will provide you the SSL auto installer, which is called Auto SSL. But if it's not provided, that means your hosting service provider will require you to purchase an SSL certificate separately from your hosting account. But most hosting providers these days in 2020 provide you an auto installer for your SSL. So this is what you see. In most cases, the moment you enable your domain name on your hosting service provider, the auto SSL runs automatically and assigns a secured certificate to your domain name, which you can see here. So it's telling me that my auto SSL domain is validated and that I have an SSL certificate which would expire 18 of March 2021. So on this date, the auto SSL will automatically renew my security certificate for my website. Now, what does the security certificate do for your website? In most cases, you see a secure padlock here. The SSL is what gives you a secure padlock here, and it's telling others servers and visitors to your website that your website is secured. It means that there's full encryption such that when the users enter their credentials, like the username, their password, their credit card information, that your website provides some form of encryption that will not expose their important critical information to hackers. So before you start to install your WordPress website, it's very, very important, very critical in 2020 for you to enable your SSL certificate. This also helps Google to recognize your website as a secured website and rank it properly. It's very important to also know that as at 2020, Google will not index any website that does not have a secure connection or does not have a security certificate installed. So this is why it is very important for us to do this. Now, if you do not have it installed, what you see for your domain name or this section of the website that you were looking at is that you have, rather than green here, you have red circles around these different sections of your website that the security certificate is protecting. So if you have such a situation, what you do is that you click the button up here to select everything, and then you click Run Auto SSL. And if your hosting provider provides a feature for auto installing your SSL certificate, then the auto SSL will run automatically and assign you a security certificate. And after 1 to 5 minutes, you discover that when you refresh this page, you find out that this will turn to green to show that a secured certificate has been assigned to your website to protect every kind of interaction that users will get involved with your website. So their credentials are protected, credit card information protected, login information protected. Your website will not expose users to hackers or people who sniff around your website to collect information about visitors to your website. So this is what the SSL certificate does for your website. Next stop from here is to install your WordPress, because now that we've confirmed that the security certificate or SSL is installed on your website, the next step is install your WordPress. So what we'll do here is to click the Cpanel logo here so that it takes us all the way back to the home page of your Cpanel dashboard. So here we are. Our next point of call here is your WordPress installer. Remember, we mentioned previously that you come to Softaculous Apps Installer, where you find an easy to install process for installing any content management system or software that you want to run on your website. So this is the Softaculous section showing the different software content management system that you can install on your website. We'll be installing WordPress, but it's very important for you to know that from your Softaculous apps installer, you can install a lot of other applications like your PrestaShop, Drupal, Elk, Matomo, basically any software that you have in mind, open source software that can run different scripts on your website, whether you want to run a bulletin board, an online shop, anything you want to pick from here, you can go ahead and install on your website. But our major interest is to install WordPress. So we'll just go back to WordPress and click the WordPress icon here. Okay, so here we are. You have a basic introduction of what WordPress is. WordPress is a web software you can use to create beautiful websites or blog. We like to say that WordPress is both free and priceless at the same time. So here we are. Over 60 million people have chosen WordPress to power the place on the web they call home. We'll love you to join the family. So this is your WordPress installer. Once you get here, the first thing you do here is to click install now. And then here, you can install into a subdirectory by typing the name of the subdirectory that you want to install it into here, or you leave this blank to install it into the root of your website. Now, check this section. If you do not have your SSL certificate installed on this website, what you see in this section will be HTTP without the S. You find something like this, but because your SSL certificate is installed, it has automatically assigned you a secure protocol for your website. So when people type, they'll see that your website is loading from a secured protocol and has a padlock attached to it, which is what you can see here. So next to that section is that you type your site name. Nigeria Land is what we have here. Yours could be anything that you want to type. Your site description here. Nigeria's Learning Revolution Unleashed. So this other section, we'll talk about them at a more convenient time when it's good for us to talk about it. That means at some point when you would have mastered WordPress, we'll begin to talk about how to enable multi-sites, because WordPress gives you the option to install several sites in one and manage them as different installations. So what we do here is that we type your admin username here and then type a password here. So the next thing, under admin email, you type an admin email that will be associated with the account that you just created for the administrator of this website that we're installing. All other sections for now you can leave blank until you have become proficient with the use of WordPress. So at some advanced course, we'll introduce you to the different sections of this installer and what they do. For now, your site name is okay, your username, administrator email, the password, which we've entered up there. I don't want to display it right now because those are my secure credentials. So once that is done, you scroll to the bottom here and click install. Okay, so once it's installed, you get this installation complete screen, which tells you that your software was installed successfully. And then WordPress will give you two URL here. One for visiting the WordPress installation or your website or the front end of your website, and then an administrator URL for logging in as an administrator to start your WordPress web design proper. So this lesson was basically to explain to you how to log into Cpanel, how to enable SSL certificate, and also explain to you why it is important to enable your SSL certificate, and then also show you how to install WordPress on your website. In the next lessons, we'll begin the WordPress web design proper with explaining to you how to install themes and plugins, how to import demos, and then settle down to customizing your website to suit your taste or design preferences or your customers' design preference. So at this point, you can log into your website directly as administrator by clicking directly on this link. So this link will take you straight to the dashboard of WordPress or WordPress dashboard, where you see the different sections of your WordPress. So I'm going to click on this now. This will open in a new tab. So voila, here we are, the WordPress dashboard for your WordPress. So the different sections of your WordPress dashboard or the back end is what you can see displayed here. Now on the front end, if we go back to this tab here, you can also click the first link here to see the front end of your website. So here we are, the front end of your website, very plain, nothing special about it. So we are going to go from this very plain website to a very professional looking website in the next lesson. Thank you.